Hey everyone, it's the founder of Developers Academy and creator of Socialize Your Apps Bootcamp, where we'll teach you how to design, prototype, and build powerful and beautiful social networking apps with stunning animations and transitions. In this video tutorial, we want to teach you how to create a very simple version of adding your friends into the Snapchat app. And if you forgot about the Snapchat app, it looks like this. And let's play the video of the Snapchat app and two of our other apps that we teach you at Developers Academy's Socialize Your Apps Bootcamp, where I'm going to open registration to the program very soon. I hope that we will see you at the bootcamp, and let's just enjoy the video tutorial and enjoy the feature.
Set the love inside, shining like gold. We can light the sky. Oh, 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 oh. Like shooting stars, we will make our way around the planets in outer space. A feeling that we cannot replace. Oh, 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 oh. Your sun's coming up. Inside our minds, oh, 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 oh. And all this time that we spend away won't make us stronger, it's only fate. And now we're ready for another day, oh, 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 oh. Your sun's coming up. Your sun's coming up.
First, in order to add some new friends, we will need to go to the Edit Friends Table View controller. And then we would download all the users from Parse. And then when we click into a cell, then we can add the new friend as our friend, as that user as our friend. Now, of course, there are much more efficient way than downloading all the users into from Parse to our account. Things like you can search for that user, okay, or things like you can add that from a contact book or contact address app. Okay, but in this one, I want to show you some basics, some fundamentals in Parse, and some of the techniques that around that. So let's do this, because it is inefficient in some way that if you have hundreds and thousands of users or millions of users. In this case, it is fairly straightforward, and there are a lot of other techniques, other technologies in Parse we want to introduce to you. So let's do it this way, okay? Let's go into our Edit Table View controller, Edit Friends Table View controller, okay? And it is a subclass of UI Table View controller. First, I will declare some of the property in this one, and actually second, we can need to import Parse, okay? First is friends is an array of PF user, okay? And then we have private var users is an array of PF user also, okay? And then we'll tell you why we want a friends and we want users. And the users, basically, in this one, we will show a table of our friends, right? We want to show the table of our friends. So in this case, we want to the users we are downloading from Parse will be all the users, and then the friends here is our friends, okay? And then we want to do something like private var current user is pfuser.current_user. Okay, so I hope that you still remember in the first video we have pfuser.current_user to be the current user of the app that is logging in into this account. Okay, and also how about we will create a struct for our storyboard. And this one static let cell identifier to be friend cell. Okay, and this one will be the identifier of a prototype cell for our table view. Okay, edit friends table view. Alright, so let's learn how we can download all the users from Parse. Okay, in the view did load, I will call a method called fetch users, like that, and then I will write a private function called fetch users. Alright, in order to fetch users or download users or download anything from Parse, we use something called a query. A query simply means that you are searching for something in Parse. Okay, I can go back into the Parse documentation over here using query. Okay, you see basic query. Alright, and you need to use a pf query class. A query will need to specify the class name, in which class we will look into this. Okay, and then we can do other things. Okay, let's do this. First, we have an user query equals pf query. Actually, we will do pf user.query. It also returns to us a pf query, okay, but it will look specifically into the user class. Or you can do pf query class name user, okay, and then we can do something like user query dot order by this ascending, okay, so that it will sort the username by ascending. Okay, this one will allow us to sort that query, and then we can do something like user query dot find objects in background with block. This block, it returns to us an array of results. In this case, it is an array of users. Okay, and it is pf object, and we have an error over here. So if the error is nil, then we'll do something. Else the error is not nil, there's an error, we will just print out the error like this. Okay, later on you can do something like show up an alert view, shows that there's an error to the users. Okay, that's a very straightforward way to do so. Okay, and over here, after we get an array of users, we want to populate that array of users back to our local variable users over here, so that we can use this users as a data source for our tail view, and then we will populate that users into the tail view. Okay, self.users equals users as an array of pf user. We'll cast it. Okay, and then we'll do self.tailView.reload data. Now, after we call the fetch users when the view did load, okay, call the fetch users, we'll create that query, use the query, goes into Parse, find all the objects in Parse, okay, and that process will take some time, and later on we'll call that asynchronous. Asynchronous means that a task takes some time to do so. So it may take some time, like create a networking request, and then goes into the Parse server, find all the object in Parse, downloading those from Parse into our phone, and then have these users. After that process gets done, then we will execute this code. Okay, so we will populate this user into self.users, and then we will tell the tail view to reload data. So reload the data source. Okay. All right. So that's the second step. We will download the users from Parse. Just that simple. Okay. Our third step is when we click into a row, we will add the new friends. Okay, so that's third step. We'll add a new friend when we click into a friend cell. Now, in order to click into friend cell, we will need to populate that cells also. So let's do this. We'll have a mark of UI tail view data source. Okay, so for this we have tail view number of rows. Let's find that. Number of rows in section. We'll just return self.users.count, right? Next, we have tail view self row at index path. Where is C and D self row index path? In here, first we will do let cell equals move up tail view dot dequeue reusable cell. Reusable cell with identifier. This one is storyboard.cell identifier. Index path in this one is index path. Okay, and then I will get the user at this cell. Let user equals self.user.index path row. I hope that when you enroll in this course, you are absolutely confident with a tail view in iOS. Okay. So next, we'll do something like cell.text label.text equals user.username. And then we just return the cell. Okay? Looks good to me. Alright, so now let's run the project to see how it looks like. To see if we have indeed an array of a table of our friends. Okay? Let's see how it looks like. Alright, so here's our project. When we click to this friends tab, nothing happened, but if we click into the edit button over here, we'll show an edit friends tail view. And yes, indeed, we have an array, we have a table of users. And now if you are using a fresh app, then you will maybe just see your own username over here. So what happened is you will need to log out and then sign up for new users. Maybe just sign up for some new users. Okay, so let's do that. Now, our next task I want us to do is when we click into a cell like this, okay, nothing happened. But when I want just at the first version, very simple version, is when we click into this, we can add this guy as our friend. Okay, maybe you can add ourselves as our friend so that we can start sending some messages and some photo and videos in the next few videos. Okay, so let's do this really quick. Goes back into our edit friends tail view controller. Okay, and here we will need to have another mark called UI tail view delegate. I hope that I spelled it right. Alright, now this method is did select row at index path tail view. So we have did select row at index path. Okay, and this has to be override. Alright, first we will just tail view dot deselect the row at this index path. Anyway, that should be maybe true. Okay, because what happened right now is when we click to this, the cell is still selected, that gray. Okay, we want to deselect itself, so it is not gray like that. Next, I want to have the user at this index path, so we want to do let user equals self.users sub-index path dot row. Okay, and also in order to have some friends, we'll use something called a friends relation in Parse. So we do something like let friends relation equals current user, which is our account, dot relation for key, and this key is friends relation. What happens is that when we create a relation for key, we'll create a relation. I think it's basically it's just an array. We can store something. In this case, we will store some other users. Okay, we can store a pointer to other users, so it is a relation to our friend. Okay. Next, we want to do something like friends relation dot add object. Okay, we can add this object as our friends. Now, what object should we add to our friends relation? Well, this user. So we can use add object user. All right. So that should be good. But now there's one other thing, is that when we get this user, we get the friends relation of our current user. We modify it by adding a new user into the friends relation. Okay, but it is just the second step. The third step, as usual, when and I hope that you'll find this pattern flying around within all of these video tutorials, is that when you create a PF object, any parse object, you modify it, and then if you want to that updates, that modification to happen, then you have to send that object to parse. Okay, so there's two phases here, the front end and the back end. You modify it in the front end, you have to change it, you have to update that, you have to save that, or send it to the back end. Okay, so let's do this. We'll have friends relation dot current user dot save in background with block. Okay, because the friends relation in this one is just a property inside the current user. Okay, so let's do this. The block here is success and error. So if error is not nil, then we'll just print out the error. And if we successfully, then it's great. We don't have to do anything else. Okay, so let's run the project. Alright, so here's our app. We click into the Friends tab, edit those. And now, before I click into this one, I want to show you the latest browser, how it looks like. And this is my development version of our Snapchat app. So that I already create a ton of user. So if you are using your own app right now, then you will not see something like this, but it will just basically like that. Okay, we can click to users and see a bunch of users. And when they run it, okay, right now if you run it, maybe you didn't have the friends relation yet, but this is our friends relation. When we click into that, we create a new friends relation. Okay, and then we will select that, right? Select this. This is my username, Detran. Okay, select that, and boom, we have no friends here. Okay, it is exactly like new version. We don't have any friends yet. So let's go back here. I will add Bill as my friend. That's good. You see that there's a little networking indicator over there. Parse is really smart about that. It just make a network request just to add that user as our friend. How about we also want to add ourselves as our friend? We want to add my name, Mark, Linda. Okay, so a bunch of people and other things. Okay, so let's go back into this, refresh our data browser, and boom, we have a bunch of friends. How cool is that? Alright, I hope that you have been enjoying that video tutorial. It's so easy to add some new friends, right? Of course, this is just the very simple version that we add new friends, so that in the next video tutorials we can display our friends and send messages to our friends. Now, I want to ask you a question, that what is your idea when you want to create some beautiful, stunning animations and transitions in your social networking app? What is the idea that brings you to Developers Academy and socialize your app's bootcamp? What good you want to learn in the bootcamp when we invite you to Developers Academy's bootcamp? So post your reply right down below so that I can have a sense of how we can help you more in this journey, how we can teach you more. How about to design social networking apps, beautiful animations and transitions. So until next time, I see you in the next video.